remember the migrants that the Trump administration snuck out of the country and shipped them off to Secot in El Salvador, the torture prison. Um, so basically, the Trump administration has made a deal with Venezuela, where 288 of the detainees in Secot were from, to release American prisoners, American and legal resident prisoners that are being held in Venezuela in exchange for 200 plus. I'm not sure if it was the full 288, but 200 plus hostages that were shipped off to that place in March and April, I believe in May. Maybe the last flights were in April. I'm not sure. But so the good news is that they made the deal and they have released most, if not all, of the Venezuelan um, detainees or migrants or hostages, and they have been returned to Venezuela. So sigh of relief, right? So there's an article I have here about that from the American Immigration Council, and here's a photo of some of the families that were waiting at the airport for their loved ones to be dropped off. I mean, the tears and sadness in their eyes is just palpable and very, 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 very sad. So celebration of being released from that place. But we have to keep in mind that these people, many of these people were asylum seekers. They came to the United States looking for protection from dangers in their home country. So now they have been released from the torture prison and then sent back to the place that they were running from danger from. So relief for the moment, but who knows what's going to happen to them next? I mean, I don't know. But I guess that's a positive thing. At least they're no longer in that prison. So let's just read a little bit of this article. American Journalist Immigration Council. Starting 4 months ago, the Trump administration carried out one of the worst abuses of government power in generation, imprisoning roughly 258 Venezuelan men and dozens of Salvadorians without due process in El Salvador's notorious terrorism confinement center, SECOT. The operation came less than 24 hours after President Trump secretly invoked a Wartime Alien Enemies Act of 1798 against the Venezuelan prison gang Tren de Aragua. And they carried this out in defiance of federal courts, blocking 4 of the 5 flights, moving the men to Secot, and some women that had to be returned. For 4 months, the men were held incommunicado, without communication with the outside world, in Secot, without any access to the outside world. Now, thanks to a prisoner exchange carried out on July 18th, the men have been flown from El Salvador to Venezuela in exchange for Venezuela releasing 10 U.S. citizens and lawful residents. Held as political prisoners. In a dramatic video, the men were met by family and loved ones, flown to meet the men by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, tasting freedom for the first time in months. However, their ongoing fate remains unclear. While the freeing of hundreds of wrongfully imprisoned men will provide for them temporary relief, many of them had previously fled Venezuela seeking asylum in the United States and were sent to El Salvador